Hi, good morning. This is Linda Ray. I should say good afternoon. This is Linda Ray from Real Estate World right here on Main Street. I have a special guest today, and I'm going to have Larry introduce himself. Hi, Larry.
Hello, Linda. My name is Larry Bsharah, president of John Adams Mortgage, and very happy to be part of your show today, Linda. Hopefully, we can help all the buyers and sellers out there understand what's going on in our crazy.
I know you're going to. I heard some things that you spoke on the other day, and I thought I just really want my clients and my past clients to hear what you have to say, because I thought it was very important. They have the wisdom of getting a transaction done and smoother, and maybe what's going on today a little different than the norm. Some people haven't purchased a house in a long time. And if they haven't even purchased a house in a year, it's totally different. It's totally different. So I'm going to give you the floor a little bit, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions. The first one being is, how is the market and how are the closings going? And of course, everybody knows the interest rates are wildly low. And how is that affecting our market today?
All good questions, Linda. So let's first start with the housing market and home sales. And although overall it's behind last year prior because of the shutdown that we had, but as of May 7th, the demand out there is massive. The home sales are going very quickly. If you're priced right, you are going to sell your home very, very quickly. And home sales right now are such a huge part of our overall economy and help for the stimulus of our economy. Having the
getting everything back on track.
Yeah, getting everything back on track and being able to make that next move up. And with interest rates being so low, it's giving buyers so much more buying power today than they've ever had.
Let me throw something in with you real fast too. Is I want the public to understand something, that houses are selling really fast, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It means that a lot of agents are sitting on a lot of qualified buyers, and they are ready to roll. Sometimes we've been working with them for months, and they are working with agents. So you can also count on the agents to be able to get those deals out there for you and hope that you get a multiple offer status. That's what we shoot for. So go on, Larry, with that. As far as the economy, I think you're right on the money with that.
Yeah, it's very important. There's a lot of refinances going on right now too, but it's really the purchases that are going to lead us. Housing is going to lead us out of this recession that we're in. Some say we're out of the recession already. Some say we're still in it. But housing is definitely leading the way, which is great, and it's going to continue with that momentum. We don't see any reason or any data that tells us otherwise that housing is going to slow. Some people thought with the pandemic that home values will decrease because of for whatever reason, but we have not seen that. The inventory is still a little low, so that's allowing sellers to get top dollar. And with interest rates being as low as they are, that's allowing buyers to have much more buying power than they've ever had. Rates are at historic lows.
So both buyers and sellers are enjoying the economy right now, and so therefore it's creating a lot more transactions too.
Yes.
Which brings me back to the subject of closings. I know that we've jumped, and you have too, through a lot of hoops to try to offset the fact of the problems that comes with this. We talked about the good parts, and by the way, I did remember you mentioning too that you make sure that the new purchases are ahead of
absolutely
refis as well too, because that could bog it down. But you have a full staff back to work.
Yes.
And there's not any problems.
Yeah, no, we're probably everybody's who can work from home is still working from home. Those that want to come in can come in. We're a very safe environment at work, but we are full staff, still hiring. Again, we don't think this is a summer spike here. We think the housing economy is super strong and is going to continue for quite some time, which creates a very competitive environment from the standpoint of of offers. You had mentioned a little bit earlier, Linda, about multiple offer situations,
Mm-hmm.
and for buyers out there, it is critical more than ever to get fully pre-approved.
Oh, say that one again. Say that one again, because I think that's a big answer right there.
Yeah, it's very critical for the buyers to come pre-approved, and if your lender allows for it, such as is a fully underwritten pre-approval. So that's not just the loan officer saying, yes, Mr. Buyer, you're all set. Here's your pre-approval letter.
Mm-hmm.
Some companies out there like ourselves, we will give a fully underwritten pre-approval to allow that buyer to have full confidence, and their realtor have
Mm-hmm.
full confidence in giving that offer to the listing agent.
That's twofold too, though, because there's another point on that too. Is yes, it does give them the edge on, especially if they're in a multiple offer status, but it also helps them to get through the mortgage and make sure that they're not taking longer than what they need. Is that correct?
You're absolutely correct. Things are, because of, appraisals are backed up, uh, some lenders are backed up, so things are taking a little bit more time, which we'll get into in a few minutes. Um, but if you are fully approved,
Mm-hmm.
that will shrink your turn times down, your process times down dramatically. Um, Typically, it's 30-day closing is what we aim for. We had a statistic the other day from a company that showed by region what turn times are from application to close. Things are taking a little bit longer. You have the summer months, you have the spike in business. The state of Michigan right now, through mid-July, is running about 42 days from application to close. The whole United States is running about 51, 52 days. So the state of Michigan is doing very well when it comes to that. We are running about 37 days on average for our company. And I think that lends to a lot of our pre-approvals being done up front, fully underwritten, reduced paperwork potentially needed. Um, and so be prepared to and prompt with your paperwork, and things should go very, very smoothly. If you are
And maybe be prepared for a little longer closing. Don't think 30 days right out the gate.
correct, our average, the state of Michigan average right now is 42 days. So
prepare for that. Yeah.
Some will happen in less time, some will happen in more time, but being prepared up front and with your paperwork is hugely important. For listing agents out there, don't be afraid to, or for sellers too, don't be afraid to call the lender and see how prepared your buyer is.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, just because they come in with the highest offer doesn't always mean they're the best offer.
When we get multiple offers, and it's one of the things that we do. We look at the lender. I want to know who they are. I want to talk to that lender. I think that's just part of the work of the real estate agent if they're doing their job correctly. Is talk to that lender, get a little more in depth. I like to talk to the agent to see how long their relationship has been with that particular buyer. And do they know who they are? So that if you choose the wrong deal, that's really bad. If you have 3 to 4 multiple offers, sometimes they're very, very close. So it's really good to have your agent do their due diligence and call the lender. Some lenders I've never heard of in my life, and they just make me skeptical.
Well, Linda, we've worked together quite a bit over the years, and you will still do your due diligence with us, which I think is critical for your success.
We do,
Hey, what's going on with this buyer? Where are you at in the process? Can we meet the closing date? What sort of hiccups might you see along the way? They can't tell you everything because of privacy, but certainly you can get a good feeling of where they're at.
Good feel, yeah. Yeah, I rely a lot on Joe. He's one of your stars, and he communicates so well, and that's one of the reasons that I just stay with him forever. Is just he communicates. I know every step of the way. I'm able to keep my sellers and buyers apprised of what's going on. If I don't get information from them, I can't pass it on, and I feel like I get truthful information. And I think these are things that you have to think about. it starts with saying that all agents aren't the same, but all loan officers aren't either, and all title companies aren't. So you have to bring that combination together to get a smooth closing, and it starts with knowing who you're dealing with. What other things could you share with us, Larry, that problematics that maybe we could work on that make sure they don't happen?
As a realtor, as a buyer, as a seller.
What do you see in your department that gives hiccups for closings and headaches?
That's okay. That's a really good question. So if we have a lengthy closing or lengthy process, I should say, and we do some checking on that as to what happened, because we always like to analyze any issues that might come up or that had come up. Is it's really communication. Where in the process did we fail to help communicate to the borrower or to the realtor on what was needed? Going back to getting pre-approved up front, where lenders will see the biggest challenge is if your closing date is the 30th of the month, whatever that is, your approval or your appraisal comes on the 23rd, a week out from the closing date. That's a real challenge because you only have 7 days or so to get all the conditions and re-looked at by the underwriter. So the communication piece and the loan officer properly communicating to borrowers, this is what we need, and almost underwriting the file early on in the process will help for a much smoother transaction. So it's really communication is the biggest key. Appraisers are a little behind right now. What typically would take 5 to 10 days to come back in some areas, and just based on the amount of sales that might be happening in that area, could take 10 to 15 days. In rural areas, could take a little bit longer. So again, communication from the lender to the realtor saying, hey, I know we have a 30, 35 day target on this closing, but it might take a little bit longer because our appraisal is going to take 15 days or whatever the case might be. So communication.
And that vacillates too, because I've had some just do drive-bys, right? There's some various different appraisals happening.
Yes, there's whether it's a property waiver inspection, we love because nothing needs to be done on that. A desktop, although it's basically a full appraisal, they don't have to drive out to the home. So that will help reduce by a few days as well.
Yeah, I've heard about the desktops quite a bit too. So, wow. I just thank you for your time today, Larry. I just think anything we can do to help buyers and sellers understand processing normally, but processing through the pandemic's times as well, that we're doing really well. But there's so many things that we've implemented during this pandemic that really brought and shed light on how we can service better. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And same with your agents working from home. Do you find that sometimes that's a little more effective? Are they doing better that way?
They are so efficient at home. As much as we want to see our people, and we do, we love seeing them in the office and communicating with them and seeing what's going on. Now we're doing it through Zoom like we are now. So it's a little bit different, but from an efficiency standpoint, we and others have been doing great as far as being able to work through the volume that we're all seeing right now. And it's pretty remarkable. Technology is so important to be able to help us with that, and we've implemented a lot. And I know you have too on your end, have implemented some technology to really help the process move much more smoother for your customers.
Things that we're going to keep doing. I mean, just things that we said, wow, this is just proven a good fact. It's just really making a positive out of the negative. And I think a lot of these things are here to stay, and I think it's going to be a more efficient setup for everyone. And I'm just happy to see it all coming to play. The innovation has been just wild. I just smile every time I see some new inventions from somebody, and whether we take it further or we just join in with them, it's just been good throughout the Real Estate One family of companies as well. John Adams Mortgage and also Capital Title Insurance One. So it's under one roof, and let's speak to that a little bit too. Isn't that a marvelous thing to have us all under one roof?
Oh man, it's the best. Per surveys, third-party Harris Poll surveys, 86% of borrowers want to work with realtors that have a team behind them, one-stop shopping, mortgage, title, and insurance companies. And it really helps with that communication. It helps with relationships. It helps with getting things done, because you know who we are. You know we can. We're there to help you. You know that we are going to do anything and everything possible to help get that transaction done on time. So working under one roof is wonderful. And the other key to that's not mentioned enough is we, as an affiliated lender of a real estate company, we have stricter guidelines when it comes to costs. So there are many times on a transaction where we are going to be less expensive to borrowers because we have to be, and that's just a win-win for the borrower.
It is so good. I know I had an incident of Friday where we had this late closing, and we had advised the co-op agent that they weren't paying very good attention, because it's best to close before 2:00, especially on a Friday and on the 31st of the month. So that comes with experience, and we're able to help them. But people wanted their keys. Obviously, it was just a given that they're going to want their keys for the weekend. And yet, if you can't be funded and if you can't have your paperwork, I can't give out keys. Right. So it ended up with, I get a 99% wonderful review, but I ended up not with a happy their buyer because I couldn't give them keys in the timely fashion. So where I'm bringing this story back together today was by these relationships that we have. And we wake up this morning to find out the paper still hadn't been sent by the other title company, and it still hadn't been funded to their account. I was able to make a couple calls to the higher beings of Capital Title, and heads rolled and things happened. So it's really, really good to have those relationships with all of our title company and our mortgage company. And things just happen that way. And I think it's a marvelous situation, and we really rely on your expertise as well. So I really thank you for the table talk today, Larry. I love to have you at speed dial for any questions that I have. I can go over all your staff's head if I really need you, and you're always, so I appreciate that. So we're going to sign off, and hopefully we're going to, looks like a good 21 year. I do believe we're going to have a very good year. And I hope everybody communicates that with the community as well. Our community, to me, depicts the value of your home. If you build it up and keep it going, the value of your house is just going to keep going up as well.
Absolutely.
So, kudos to all of us, and let's have a really good day. And again, thank you for the table talk today. See you soon.
My pleasure, Linda. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.